On March 6th, 2012, a razor company put a video on YouTube. It cost $4,500 and took 1 day to shoot. Within 48 hours, 12,000 people had handed over their credit card details to buy a razor they had never held from a company that had existed for about a year.
Are the blades any good? No. Our blades are f***ing great.
Their competitor was Gillette, a brand owned by Procter & Gamble, spending hundreds of millions of dollars a year on marketing, holding most of the market. 4 years later, that razor company sold to Unilever for a reported $1 billion. Here's what should bother you about that. They didn't have a better razor. They didn't have more money. They didn't have a secret channel. By every measure that's supposed to matter, they should have lost. And they didn't. So what actually happened? The whole thing comes down to one move. And it's not the video being funny. That's what everyone remembers. And it's the wrong lesson. Here's the real one.
Hi, I'm Mike, founder of DollarShaveClub.com.
Dollar Shave Club didn't sell a razor. They sold a position, and that position was aimed at a feeling Gillette had been quietly creating in its own customers for years. Let me show you what I mean.
Each razor has stainless steel blades, an aloe vera lubricating strip, and a pivot head. It's so gentle a toddler could use it. And do you like spending $20 a month on brand name razors? 19 go to Roger Federer. I'm good at tennis.
Think about the last time you stood in a shop in front of a razor locked in a plastic case like it was jewelry. You had to find a staff member to unlock it. And when you saw the price, some part of you thought, this is a piece of metal. Why does it cost this much? And why is it behind glass like it might run away? That small flash of irritation, that's the whole story. Because you weren't confused about razors. You were annoyed at being handled, overcharged, overpackaged, oversold. Gillette spent decades adding blades, vibrating handles, lubricating strips, and raising the price each time. Every improvement quietly created a customer who suspected they were paying for things they didn't need.
And do you think your razor needs a vibrating handle, a flashlight, a back scratcher, and 10 blades? Your handsome-ass grandfather had 1 blade and polio.
Nobody had said that suspicion out loud. That unspoken feeling was just sitting there, in millions of people unclaimed. Now watch what the video actually did. People remember the jokes, but under every joke was a position. Do you think your razor needs a vibrating handle, a flashlight, 10 blades? That's not a joke. That's them naming the exact suspicion you already had and taking your side against the giant. That's the first move. They didn't create a desire. They named one that already existed. That's why it converted so cheaply. You don't have to spend millions convincing someone of a feeling they already have. You just have to say it before anyone else does. Second move, who delivered the message? Not an athlete, not an actor, the actual founder walking through his own warehouse. Gillette used celebrities, distant, polished, expensive. Dollar Shave Club used a guy who looked like he'd answer your email in a category built on glossy distance. Ordinary was the differentiation. That's not a budget compromise. That's a positioning weapon. Third move, and this is the one people miss entirely.
So stop forgetting to buy your blades every month and start deciding where you're going to stack all those dollar bills I'm saving you. We are DollarShaveClub.com, and the party is on.
It links straight to a subscription sign-up. One click, and razors show up at your door every month, forever. Do you see what that does? Gillette's entire strength was distribution. Every shelf, in every shop, everywhere. Dollar Shave Club didn't try to fight for shelf space. They made the shelf irrelevant. The subscription meant they never had to win the shop because they owned the customer directly. So the giant's greatest advantage, being everywhere, was quietly turned into nothing. You can't out-distribute a company on shelves. You can't make shelves not matter. This isn't a one-off. It's a repeatable move, and once you see it, you'll spot it everywhere. Whenever an incumbent gets big and comfortable, it starts optimizing for itself. More features, more price, more complexity. And in doing so, it quietly manufactures a resentment in its own customers. That resentment is an opening. The challenger who names it plainly, takes the customer side, and removes the incumbent's structural advantage, doesn't need a bigger budget. The budget was never the lever. The unclaimed feeling was same shape shows up again and again. A bloated leader, an annoyed customer, and a challenger who simply says the quiet part out loud and owns the relationship directly. Now, I have to be straight with you, because the clean version of this story is a lie. It's tempting to say the video did it. It didn't on its own. The subscription economics were genuinely good. The timing was right. 2012, YouTube was underused as a launch platform, and they treated it like a premiere when everyone else treated it like an archive. There was luck. There was always luck. And I can't prove the positioning is what beat Gillette. 100 things go into $1 billion outcome. What I can show you is that the cheap, repeatable, copyable part, the part you could actually use, was never the humor or the budget. It was the position. Strip away the luck and the timing, and the machine is still standing. Name the resentment, take the customer's side, own them directly. So here's the thing to sit with. Everyone who saw that video thought they were watching a funny ad. They weren't. They were watching a company win a fight it had no business winning. Not with money, not with a better product, but by saying something true that the giant was too big to say. Gillette could have said, "You're overpaying." It couldn't. It was the overcharging. That's the trap of being the incumbent. The very thing you'd need to admit is the thing you're built on, which means somewhere in your market right now there's a feeling your biggest competitor can't afford to name. The only question is whether you'll say it first. If you like the video, please do leave a comment, like and share with your friends.